Character Stats is a free Unity asset that gives you a simple way of having stats in your game that you can easily modify from a bunch of different sources. For example, let's say you cast a spell that increases one of your stats by 10%. Then you equip an item that gives you a flat increase of 5, and after that you gain a talent that increases it by another 10%. But what if we want percentage bonuses to always apply after the flat ones? And increasing by 10% twice, should we add them together for a total bonus of 20% or multiply for a total bonus of 21%? These are the types of things that the Character Stats asset can help you deal with. The package is composed by two main scripts, Character Stat and Stat Modifier. Each character stat has a base value and a list of stat modifiers. A stat modifier is defined by his value, how much we're going to increase or reduce our stat, his type, which can be flat, percentage additive, or percentage multiplicative, and optionally it can save its source, or what object in your game applied that stat modifier, and the application order. By default, flat modifiers apply first, then percentage additive, and lastly percentage multiplicative. But you can use this value to override that order. The asset is very easy to use. Just open up any of your scripts, and first we need to add the namespace, crease.characterStats. Now we can declare a public character stat variable. This allows us to see the stat in the inspector and edit the base value. We can also change the base value in code. And after that, it's just a matter of adding modifiers. To do that, we can call the addModifier method on a stat variable. So we can go character.strength.addModifier, and we create a new modifier to add by defining its value and its type. After applying some modifiers, you can access the stat's final value by using the value property. This is the base value plus any modifiers that you have applied. For percent modifiers, a value of 0.1 means we're increasing our stat by 10%, 0.5, 50%, 1, 100%, and so on. This is true for negative values as well. A value of minus 0.5 means we're reducing our stat by 50%. To remove modifiers, there's two ways that we can do that. We can store them in variables, and then use those variables to remove the modifiers. Or we can assign the source variable of the stat modifier, for example by passing in the keyword this to indicate that these modifiers were granted by this specific item, and then telling the stat to remove all modifiers that came from a particular source. For the order variable, let's navigate to the statMod type enum, and here we can see the default order value that has been assigned to each stat modifier type. So if, for example, we wanted to have a flat modifier that applies between %add and %mult modifiers, we can assign it an order anywhere between 200 and 300. To do that, we go back to where we create that stat modifier and add a new integer input parameter that is above 200 and below 300. Another cool thing that you can do is access the stat modifiers list to display information about all the modifiers of a particular stat, how much they are modifying that stat, and where they came from. The order of the modifiers in this list reflects the order in which they apply. And that's it. You're all set to use the Character Stats asset to its full potential. I've included some example scenes inside the package. Check out the other videos for more info on that. And if you want to go really in depth into the implementation of the Character Stats asset, you can check out the tutorial series on Character Stats, where I walk you through step by step how to implement this exact system. So I hope this has been useful, and good game developments!